Hello and welcome to the Sweet Southern Sports Podcast where we talk about SEC sports. Today I'll be talking about the SEC Football Week 5 preview. So first off, let's look at the top 5 takeaways from last week. So Oklahoma and possibly the refs found a way to beat Auburn 24-17 last week. It was a really tight game. There was some really questionable calls that went against Auburn that have been quite the story this week. But at the end of the day, Oklahoma found a way to win with John Mateer. But there has been since that game information that's come out that their quarterback John Mateer has broke his hand, um, or like a part of his hand, so he'll be out for a couple of weeks. So we'll kind of see if that brings Oklahoma down. But it was a big win for Brett Venables getting that win. Next, Florida got destroyed by Miami. Miami ran all over that Florida team. Florida could not move the football in the first half. It was just nothing, nothing, nothing. They got shut out in the first half. Barely got one solid touchdown drive in the second half, but the rest was just all Miami. So Miami just really just flexed over Florida. It was a really, really terrible game when it comes to balanced opponents. Memphis stunned Arkansas. So Arkansas was on the road at Memphis. Looked like they had the game won, and then they fumbled, and this chaos broke loose, and Memphis found a way to win. So that was a big win for the Tigers. Mizzou over South Carolina looked okay. Both teams looked all right. South Carolina just hasn't been playing well, and honestly, I actually was kind of shocked Missouri didn't blow them out. But it was a close game, a little closer than you'd want. But Mizzou ended up finding a way to win. And then last but not least, the Ole Miss Rebels really rolled Tulane. That team's looking really, really good. I would not be surprised if they make a very strong playoff push for the rest of the season. All right, so let's go into next week's picks and see what we got going on. So first up, we have Notre Dame at Arkansas on ABC at 12 o'clock. Notre Dame opens as a 4.5 point favorite at the time of this video. I see Notre Dame getting the win here. Notre Dame, again, had a tough start to the year, but I think they're going to be able to find a way to beat Arkansas. Arkansas has a lot of weapons, really good quarterback, but they struggle in close games under Pittman. I think that happens again in Notre Dame with Freeman at the helm, like we leading them on. We'll find a way to win. Next at 12:45 p.m. on the SEC Network, Vandy opens as a 22.5 point favorite at the time of video. I think Vandy will get the win here. They've just been playing extremely well. I wouldn't even be shocked if they covered with how well they've been playing. So again, kudos to Vandy for playing so well. Then at 3:30, one of the biggest kickoffs of the day on ABC, LSU goes at Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin was not happy that this was at night again. Anytime they go anywhere, it seems to be at night. And then when they come to the home, when they are at home, big teams come in, they always play one of the earlier kickoffs. But when it comes down to this game, I think LSU squeaks out a win. I think this Ole Miss team is really, really good. I think LSU's been sputtering. I think just a couple calls go their way, or they make a couple plays just to find a way to win. But this would not be a comfortable game at all for LSU. I do not see this game being comfortable in any way. Ole Miss actually opens as a favorite, and I wouldn't be shocked if that at the time of this video if that spread actually goes up on Ole Miss's side. Again, LSU's just been really struggling. So, but I'm going to stick with LSU finding a way to win. Seeing them go 1-0 again. Next at 3:30, we also have on ESPN Auburn. Going at Texas A&M. Texas A&M will open as or at least as a 6.5 point favorite. I think Texas A&M wins this game. Auburn's coming off of that really tough loss against Oklahoma. Texas A&M is also coming off of a bye week, so it's just a really bad spot to have to play this game. I think Texas A&M will be prepared for them. It will be a tight game, come down to the fourth quarter, but I'm just going to go with Texas A&M, who has, I think, the better offensive and defensive lines. But watch out for Auburn. This will definitely be a good game. Next, I'll pick Tennessee 4:15 over Mississippi State on the road. I think Tennessee will be able to find a way to win. They open as a 7.5 point favorite. Again, this will be another close SEC matchup, but I think Tennessee will just be able to find a way with their offense. I think Heupel's a good enough play caller where he'll get the offense to be able to do their job. And at 7:30 on ABC, this is like the big SEC game of the year that everyone looks forward to. It is Alabama going at Georgia. Alabama has been really the thing that takes down Georgia the most. It's just been uh, the Achilles heel having to play Alabama. I think this game has two offenses that are seeming to get it going. The defenses have been pretty good as well. I think it really just comes down to in this game. Um, really in the trenches who wins the battle. And I do think with Georgia being at home, I think that home win streak record, I think that's going to play a lot into this. Again, usually people don't get to understand like Georgia doesn't usually have a lot of big SEC teams get to come into Georgia and play. It's a really hard place to play. I think Georgia. I think the spread will go up from 2.5 point favorites for Georgia. I think it will go up a little bit just being at home. But I do have Georgia winning. And then that just really just comes down to just being at home with that crowd. I think these teams are pretty equal. But when it comes down to, again, Kirby Smart prepared for Alabama at home, it just seems like Georgia will be able to find a way and get over that Alabama always finding a way to beat them. And the last games of the day, Missouri opens as a 43.5 point favorite over UMass. I think they win that easy. And then Kentucky at South Carolina. South Carolina has been a little bit of a letdown with Sellers. I think they win this game. It will probably be closer than it should be. South Carolina has again been struggling, but I think South Carolina will find a way at home to get the win. So those are the SEC predictions for this week. Please make sure that you like and subscribe and look up for more content in the future.